There are so many series out there, and I mean so many, that it's becoming ridiculous to suggest we need Hollywood anymore. Hell, we don't even need the BBC at this point. With the absolute torrent of agenda-driven sludge they've been pumping out lately, it's no surprise more and more of us are diving into the past, dredging up what the archives and boot sales have hidden from the algorithm's grasp. And honestly, I keep finding shows I've never seen before. Forgotten classics, sideline treasures, or sometimes things so politically radioactive that the BBC acts like they never existed at all. But hey, I found one, and not only that, somehow it was released on DVD. Officially. Yes, really, a full release sitting on the shelf like it hadn't been memory-holed by Britain's cultural custodians. And that show is a wartime sitcom with drag routines before it became commonplace, music hall numbers, and a sergeant major so furious he makes R. Lee Ermey look like he's handing out hugs in a yoga class. It's outrageous, it's offensive, it's hilarious, it ain't half hot mum. Welcome to the Snake Pit, where we're full of bile and venom. I'm your host, Snake Daemon, and today we're looking at the show the BBC pretends never happened. A comedy about conscripts in concert dresses, imperial posturing, and a sergeant major whose entire character arc can be summed up with two iconic phrases, "Shut up!" and "Oh dear, how sad, never mind." Set in the dying months of World War II, it ain't half hot. Mum takes place in a British army camp in India, where a ragtag group of soldiers, or more accurately, reluctant thespians, are assigned to a concert party entertaining the troops on their way to the front. They're not fighters, they're performers. And honestly, the only real war being waged here is between sequins and sweat, as the men dodge jungle duty by donning drag and cracking jokes to keep the morale up. Enter Battery Sergeant Major Williams, played by Windsor Davies in full volume mode, delivering a masterclass in how to scream someone into submission while, mispronouncing half the dictionary. If you've seen Carry On England, you've already met this man, because he's the same damn character. Gruff, growling, bigoted, and somehow still lovable. He's the boot-stomping embodiment of British military discipline, and under all the shouting there's the faintest suggestion of, dare I say it, affection for his bunch of poofs. And look, let's not be naive. Yes, this show has issues. Michael Bates, a white actor playing Ranky Ram in brownface, yeah, that's a hard sell today. The jokes, frequently toe-curling. The language, let's just say, you wouldn't get past the first draft read-through without a Twitter mob descending like airborne cavalry. The BBC has buried it so deep you'd think it was filmed at Area 51. No repeats, no reruns, just a quiet disappearance, as if a show watched by millions somehow never existed. And yet, there it is, on DVD, Series 1 to 4, uncut, unapologetic. And you know what? It's funny. Not in spite of its time, but because of it. This was comedy born from real military experience. Co-written by Jimmy Perry, who lived that life in Deolali with the Royal Artillery. These weren't caricatures invented for cheap gags. These were real men he'd served with. Real situations exaggerated for laughs, yes, but grounded in truth. And sometimes the truth isn't comfortable. What's most staggering is how human the characters feel, especially Williams. Yes, he's a relic. Yes, he says awful things, but like many of the real sergeants he met during his time in uniform, he's a hard bastard with a soft centre buried under 3 feet of parade ground shouting. He isn't cruel because he enjoys it. He's hard because war is harder, because turning dancers into soldiers meant breaking a few egos along the way, and because deep down he cares about his lads, even if he calls them every slur in the King's English. Now, of course, this show is a product of its time. The humour is steeped in Imperial nostalgia. The portrayal of Indian characters, while warm in tone, definitely leans into the servile and simple stereotypes of old-school British television. And yes, it was satirical in places, but as satire, it often got confused with reinforcement. That's part of the complicated legacy, but let's not rewrite history with a red pen and a trigger warning. Let's understand it, talk about it, and if we must, cringe through it. And for all its flaws, it ain't half hot. Mum wasn't mean-spirited. It didn't punch down to hurt. It punched sideways, up, and, occasionally into a mirror. It laughed at everyone. It loved its characters. And whether the BBC likes it or not, it was a vital part of British comedy history. Windsor Davies was the show. His voice, his fury, his oddly endearing madness. His timing was perfect, his insults creative, and his, oh dear, how sad, never mind, deserves a spot on the Comedy Walk of Fame right next to "Don't Tell Him, Pike, and You Stupid Boy." Yes, times change, standards change, but the past happened. And when we lock it away like it's embarrassing, we don't erase it. We just lose our ability to learn from it. So if you ever find a copy of It Ain't Half Hot Mum, buy it, watch it, shout "shut up" at your telly, laugh, gasp, wince, and maybe appreciate the fact that once upon a time, comedy was allowed to be messy, allowed to provoke, allowed to reflect the world it came from. Thanks for dropping by the Snake Pit, where we thrive on untapped potential and lost opportunities. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell, like the video, and leave your opinions in the comments, where, naturally, I won't read them. Until next time, stay venomous.